You know what? This Mr. Cat, Mr. Assassin, I call him Assassin because he walks through my window whenever I'm filming. But you know what's the only good thing about this video? It is the reality that Mr. Assassin, I'll feed you. Mr. Assassin here has actually walked in through my window the moment I started recording. That's the only good thing that you will see in this video. There will be nothing else. Alright, technically speaking, this book was recommended to me by some of you, and what ended up happening is that I actually did not finish the book. I tried my best, I could not, I'm sorry, I failed. And in this video, because of that, I'm actually going to refrain from talking about, the entire book. I will only talk about the part of the book that I read, and I will tell you it is the first 20%, and in that 20%, I will talk to you precisely what I thought of every aspect of storytelling. First of all, I don't know who wrote this book, but there are two authors who have literally no ability to tell a story whatsoever. The initial 20% of this story, first of all, the prose is so overdone. The prose is so overdone. It is such purple, no need to swear, but it's such purple BS. It is so full of cliches and generic phrases. But number two, it is so full of unnecessary additional adjectives. It's jam-packed. You know, sometimes I will say about authors like Brandon Sanderson, I will say, "Ooh, the writing style, the prose is really very minimalistic and very simple," and I don't like that. However, this is the opposite. It is too stacked, too jam-packed. So many times the authors will end up repeating descriptions that they gave. In other words, for instance, they will describe something and then they will describe it again in a different sentence that is completely packed. And so I don't know, this is extremely inefficient. This is also awful. It's called purple prose. It is an overdone prose. Let's talk about the characters. The characters are extremely cringy. What ended up happening throughout the part that I read is nothing of importance or of any depth. What good authors will often end up doing, I will give you another example if you're familiar with Brandon Sanderson. In The Way of Kings, we're immediately introduced to the nuanced character and to the nuances and to the complex parts about Caladan. Okay, if you look at another book, Name of the Wind, Kavoth. Immediately from the get-go, we are introduced to him, to his apathy, his lack of action, basically what will serve as his character flaw. So many authors, so many good authors will start the story by introducing us to the complex and nuanced parts of the main protagonists. But Andy, the main protagonist here, has nothing to offer. She is an extremely flat character. In fact, everyone in the story has no depth. Nothing whatsoever. Maybe 1 in a billion chances the story could get better. This is why I am not giving this a star rating at the end of this video. This is why I will not talk about the entire book. Yes, and the primary reason is because I have not finished it. Maybe it gets better. I really doubt it. If you have screwed up the beginning of your book this badly, you do not have a chance. The next improvement in your life is going to happen about several years after you finish writing a book of this awfulness, of this shittiness. There is so much practice for these authors to do. There is so much time that they need to spend writing the story and crafting the story. Not only that, but there's just so much time that they need to keep writing. So much time is required for them to practice in order to write not just prose but characters. The only good thing that I have seen here is the world building. Again, the world building is actually very interesting and unique in my opinion and in my eyes. You see, I am not as a prolific science fiction reader. In fact, I am not as stop, hey. He literally climbed up all the way so he can mess with this one with the camera. But yeah, but this is, I think, primarily because it is me. Oh yeah, I'm still in the frame. No, don't jump, do not jump. Okay, here. You wanna catch this? Go. So I'm gonna push through this video. Genuinely, I just want to go back to the words of radiance because right now it is the semester break and I have a lot of time that I can be reading the second book in The Way of Kings. Instead, I ended up reading the first 20% of this in one afternoon, and I regretted that life decision. It was awful. Anyhow, the world building, I think might be due to the reality that I'm not a prolific science fiction reader. I have not, no. I have not read countless science fiction books. Come on, that's the lighting, I need that. I have not read hundreds and hundreds of science fiction books, so I am having to suspect that the world building in here is generic and it is quite simplistic. However, because I am not a prolific science fiction reader, it means I was really genuinely impressed by the world building. It felt really well done. The only thing that I am confident that was done remarkably well is the marketing, because this book, turns out, I did some Googling, and it is a best-selling book. How did that happen? It is not because it's a good story. It is not because of word of mouth. I think someone, maybe some publisher, pulled off a miracle, a genius move to market this book. I don't know, again, I don't know who the authors are. I've heard something that maybe they're YouTubers, so maybe that has something to do with it. I haven't checked the YouTube channels. And technically speaking, what is going on here is a miracle. A book this bad becoming this successful is rare to find. It is easy to find a very good book becoming a bestseller. Why? Because someone reads it, their mind is blown away. Then they recommend it to their friend, and then that friend recommends it to another friend. But you see, the person who recommended it to the first friend does not just stop there. They will never stop talking about this book because it's very good. So they're going to recommend it to other people. So every person becomes a node, or some sort of spider where there's a lot of legs, a lot of other people expanding out of that. But it never stops. Every person keeps recommending it to everyone else, and the book becomes ludicrously successful, and it takes off several years after the initial book came out. Several years, about 4, 5, 6 years after the book comes out, it takes off because of that logarithmic curve that happens, right? It's an exponential gain. It becomes after 7, 8 years, it becomes mainstream. But that is the journey good books who are obscure take to mainstreamdom of famehood. However, this book is so bad, I think it was a marketing genius. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It is Mr. Assassin. He has actually decided he's going to chill. I stand here, just before him. So he's standing behind me and he's not doing anything. And he finally decided he's going to calm down after I finish filming. Oh, no, he just left. So yes, the only good thing about this book is the reality that it was marketed unlike anything I've ever seen. It's so beautifully marketed because they are remarkably well marketed. This book was just genius move. So I wish the best of luck for both authors. I have not finished this book to give it a final star rating, so I will stop. And so I hope that you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day.